Okay. All right. Okay, guys, we are going to talk about fat burning and organ health. All right. So the reason this is important is because a lot of the times we're not paying attention to what is going on inside our bodies. I want to talk about fat burning and organ health. So, Jenna, if you have any questions, like you're the pro interviewer, so please feel free to ask any questions that come to your mind. Okay, so fat burning and organ health. Now, what I was saying is the reason this is important is because we are always not really paying attention to what's going on inside our bodies. And we're mostly trying to find different ways to either burn more calories or consume less calories, okay? That's what we've been taught. However, the conversation has to be opened up into what is happening inside the body in terms of efficiency. All right, so there are a few things that we want to know about this. Now, the first thing I want you guys to know is that our bodies have, hey guys, just going to flip this over. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that the body has one tank of energy, okay? So you can think of this as like a pot of energy or a tank. And just visualize that. Now, that's your one tank that your body has to do everything, okay? Anything physical related, anything emotional, anything mental. So when you're working on a project, I say this all the time too. Yes, you do. They're working on projects. Like keep in mind, that's mental energy that your body is taking from that vessel. It's taking from that tank to utilize. Okay. So same thing with emotional. If you're going through something emotionally, it's coming from that tank. If you're physical, you're training for something or you're working out, it's coming from that tank. Okay. So this is the number one principle that you need to know about fat burning. Okay, can you touch on cellulite? No, guys, that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about fat burning. Okay, so number one thing you need to know is your body has one tank of energy. The second thing you need to know is that fat burning requires energy, okay? So say you have this one vessel of energy. Now, in order for our bodies to burn fat, it requires a lot of extra energy. Like there's all these processes that take place in the liver, lipolysis, liponeogenesis, gluconeogenesis. Like there's so many things. The Krebs cycle, this is something that our body goes through to produce ATP, which is our body's energy source. Hello. So fat burning in itself requires energy. And if your body is lacking in any which way, fat burning is going to, it's going to get compromised because our bodies are smart. They want to funnel the most energy to what is vital. Like there are people that are 500 and 600 pounds because fat burning is actually not vital. The things that are vital are like keeping your heart beating, keeping your blood pressure, keeping your body temperature. Those are all the things. So fat burning requires your body to have an excess of energy. Now, how is this actually possible? Like, how do we not function within our energetic capacity? As humans, we've adapted to function way out of our energetic capacity. And this is when the body starts talking to us via sickness or disease in the body because that organ is actually getting shut down. Okay. So it'll get hypo, it'll get hyper, it overproduces, it underproduces because it's out of alignment and it's trying, the body's always trying to bring you back into alignment. Organs are fueled by oxygen and water, okay? So these are just the points I'm going through. Now I want you guys to tell me if this makes sense. Our body's fuel is oxygen and water. This fuels our organs, this nourishes them. And when we are lacking in any which way, I just posted a post about, is your body actually absorbing the water that you're drinking? So there has to be a polarity difference in the cells. If your inside your cells are all water, it's going to be really difficult for that water that you're drinking to go inside your cells. We want to have electrolytes and we want to have, we want to have electrolytes and salts inside. Okay, so keep that in mind. I know in the fitness industry, we're always telling people to avoid salt and all of that, but I've actually read like theories on how this is a bit of a conspiracy. We won't get into that, but salt consumption is important. So just keep in mind the high blood pressure and all that stuff. Like try not to just go crazy with your salt. If you're training, I highly recommend like some sort of Himalayan pink salt because that will help replenish the electrolytes back into your muscles and your cells. Now, how do we optimize this? Okay, so if you're thinking that I think I have slow fat burning, maybe you do. And what we do in the fitness industry is we tell you to cut down on your carbs and we tell you to perhaps exercise more. But this is the problem, and this is why I do what I do, is because I've been in the fitness industry for 10 or 12 years, and I've tried all of those. I've tried all the different protocols. They don't work. Every person is different, and everybody's needs are different. So when I get somebody coming into me for one-on-one, we look at where is the energetic drains, like where is it in your body? The first thing you need to do is fix your sleep, okay? Sleep quality is so important to nourish your organs. This is when they're getting repaired. So figure it out. Like, do you need more sleep? Do you need less sleep? Are you sleeping too much? That's an issue too. You might want to get your cortisol levels checked. If your cortisol levels are too low, you won't get that cortisol spike in the morning, which is essential. So quality of sleep is important. Sometimes we need supplementation. Sometimes we need some meditation or breathing exercises. Whatever you need is, it's hard to give generic advice, but fixing your sleep is the one thing that I can recommend in order to bring your vessel, that energetic tank that we talked about, to fill that tank back up. And then how else do you, I'm going to go into the comments for a sec here. I need to be aware of this. Definitely not absorbing all my water. Celtic salt to my morning. Ooh, Celtic salt. Love it. Love it. Sleep is life. How do we check our levels? Which levels would those be? Cortisol levels? Yes. So you can do that via saliva through a lab test. And you just want to make sure when you do get any lab tests done that you're being aware of what time you're going at, because the cortisol levels do fluctuate according to the time of the day. As well as for women, you might as well know what day of your cycle you're on. It's just another way to get really aware as to what you're looking at when you get it now compared to 3 months. I have friends that... Back to organ function. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because there's so much to say. And I initially, yesterday or day before, I was posting something about me doing a workout on my yoga wheel. And the reason I like that is because I'm still working out, but I'm not draining my energetic storages, okay? So I'm still taking my time to breathe. This is what fuels us. Like I said, oxygen, water are what fuel our organs. So back in the day, and tell me if this resonates for anybody, circuit training, Tabata. I used to do a lot of that. I used to teach it. And the thing is, it doesn't allow your body to replenish. Like the goal is to just keep going because you're trying to keep your heart rate high and you're trying to keep that calorie burning high. But if you're already at a deficit, your body will get it done. You'll just be functioning in a deficit. This is when the organs will start shutting down. And it's like, how does that make sense? How? So I really want us to have this conversation of bringing our organs into alignment. So they're not going hyper and they're not going hypo. These are the ways your body is talking to you that something is out of alignment. What else did I want to say? I could talk about the fitness industry and like the different protocols that we get put on, but I will save that for a second here. But I do want to talk to you guys about getting in alignment your organs. So first thing is your sleep quality. The next thing is reducing the demand, okay? Off like some of the stress that is on your plate. So creating some boundaries, whether you're saying, okay, this day I'm taking 1 day off, or I'm going to shut off my cell phone, or I'm going to shut off something, just so you can start to even get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because doing that stuff is extremely uncomfortable, but start to fill up that energetic tank a little bit. And then the next thing you want to do is have supreme body awareness, okay? So once you can get super aware of your energy levels, it allows us to gauge from there. So say you wake up in the morning and you gauge your energy. Now, it's up to us to actually honor that energy and continuously stay in tune with it, because otherwise we're going to continue doing the commitments and doing the things that we have to do. And if we're already at an energetic deficit, we're going to stay there. The organ function is going to decrease even more. It's going to affect our muscle metabolism, which is also big for fat burning. You might feel like you can't burn fat that well. You might feel like you can't gain muscle that well. Your energy might feel... Energy is a different one, because I functioned in an energetic deficit for like 10 years and I felt good. Like, this is the problem. This is why I'm so like, we need to learn how to feel again. Feel your body, feel your muscles, feel when you're fatigued, feel when you're clenching, feel when you're stressed. Honor all of those feelings, because it's so much more efficient to do it this way. Otherwise, we're going to the gym, we're doing all the workouts, but internally your body is like, no, not happy. So it starts quieting, it starts shutting things down. Other signs that you'll know when your body is starting to shut down a little bit is by having like digestive intolerances. This is another way your body wants to conserve energy, because digestion is not crucial. Like I said, body temperature is crucial. Keeping your heart beating is crucial. Fat burning, digestion, even certain detoxification, like your lymphatic drainage might slow down a little bit. You might notice your urine and your bowel movements have slowed down. This is all stagnation in the body, and that is a good sign that there is some sort of either energetic drain or there is an energy deficit. Okay, so I want to go over this again for anybody who's just joined. There's a few things that I want you guys to know. One is the body has a limited tank of energy. So one tank of energy, okay? This is your mental, your physical, and your emotional tank of energy. So keep that in mind when you're going through anything in your life. Everything is coming from that one tank. What are you going to do to honor the organs and honor your cells and make sure they have life to continue fueling and doing the things and producing the hormones and burning the fat and everything that our organs do? Plump the blood, detoxify the air that you're breathing, the chemicals that are around you. Keep in mind, all of that has one energetic tank and it's coming from that store. So I want you to almost like question, is it the workout that's going to serve me today, or is it going to be nourishment? Like, what do I actually need to nourish my body? And then the next one is, I'm going to be wrapping up here soon. So if you guys have any questions, just put them on. Love you. Thank you. So good. Fat burning requires energy in itself. Okay. So just that simple process of converting fat into energy that you can burn is requiring a lot of energy. So just keep that in mind too. In other words, if I'm going to be super blunt, if you're feeling drained and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I should work out today, listen to your intuitive guidance, okay? Missing one workout is not going to make a difference to you on the scale. And I know what it's like because I have been there. I have been super diligent. I have been run by my fitness routine all my life up until about 2 years ago, when I started bringing my body into alignment and I started realizing that I could work out at a way lower intensity and I can work out way less, and my body being so efficient and burning fat, you don't even notice it, and you can eat whatever. You have no digestive intolerances. I used to have a lot of digestive intolerances. I used to have sleep issues. I used to have to take supplements. It affected my mental cognition, my ability to focus, my ability to have in-depth conversations, because I just had no capacity, because that energetic tank of mine was empty, and I was running a business and I was in a relationship and I was working out 1,000,000 times a week, teaching classes. Like, yeah, no, the capacity was not there for anything. And literally the reason I'm so passionate about talking about this is because everything in my life suffered without me even knowing it. I didn't have bandwidth to have like a deep, honest conversation, because again, that energetic tank that I had was empty, and it affected my relationships, and it affected my business, and it affected everything. nothing. Okay. So I cannot encourage you enough to honor your energy. And I know this sounds crazy, and this is why I do what I do with teaching women how to feel again, because I thought I had feelings too, but I actually was pretty numb because I just had so much armor on everything, and my wisdom lived in other people, what other people said, what the fitness industry told me to do, idolizing, fitness people. And that did absolutely nothing for me. So what I would advise is using our menstrual cycle. You guys know, if you don't know, this is one thing that saved me, is learning about my menstrual cycle so I can start feeling into those natural energetic tendencies that our body has, so I can be more in flow with my feminine cycle. Okay, it's not something that I'm like, you have to live your life by it, but you at least have to know. Scott, I need to talk to you. I need branding photos. Can you do that for me? Really need to talk to you, actually. But definitely use the cycle as guidance. And again, when you're not sure on how to do that, this is why I have a 6-week program. This is why I coach women one-on-one, because it's not the same for everybody. Everybody's needs are different. Now, ask if you guys have any questions. I needed to hear this today. I've been running on MT for 2 years now. I hear you, Jenna. I hear you. I ran on MT for like 10 years. And that's why I'm like, you know what actually prompted me to do this is I kept seeing like all the fitness feeds that I follow. An organ function. We want to nourish the body. We want to bring it into alignment. Remember, if there's any takeaway that you have from today, the one thing is remember that you have one tank of energy, and that tank of energy is for your physical tasks, for your mental tasks, and your emotional capacity. Okay, so if you're feeling like you're suffering in any one of those areas, it's the same tank. And now we get to figure out, first things first, figure out your sleep, nourish your body. If you I don't like to recommend 1-day cleanses, because if you do have higher cortisol levels and you're feeling stressed, then doing a 1-day cleanse is not going to help you because your body is going to be stressed. Oh, also on cleansing, I used to cleanse a lot when I was back in my days. And nobody ever told me like, okay, on days you're cleansing, like you're actually not doing much. Like you're going through a physical cleanse. You're also going through a spiritual and emotional cleanse. No, I was working full days. Yeah, my skin, my hair, my nails, like all these processes that our body does that are not crucial, they start suffering. So if you're noticing changes in your skin, that's a big indication. It's actually a hormone imbalance issue. And that again happens because our body is going to find ways to conserve. Producing hormones, like reproductive hormones, not a priority for your body. So when we talk about infertility and things like that, it's honestly, the body does not have enough energy to sustain a pregnancy for 9 months. I was going to say 9 years, 9 months. So yes, now I'm going to read a couple of these. I've unfollowed all those type of accounts. Oh my gosh, thank God. Oh, good. That's so powerful. Thank you. Sister and Soul Daniela and Steffi, take it back to the basics is simple, but honestly, as long as the basics are factoring in feminine hormones, feminine cycle, the whole feminine biology, like this is what basics don't talk about. And that's what I really feel is a huge missing link in women's fitness. We have to start training women differently. We have to start approaching our fitness differently. And this is the thing, is it doesn't mean we're weaker. We have strong phases in our cycle that will help propel us to be stronger. And on the phases that you are feeling low energy, that's when you do your fascial work and your stretching and you improve your mobility so that you can do pull-ups and push-ups, so you're not injuring your shoulders because you're not overtraining. That's why we have you. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to start doing these a little bit more. I want to just start talking even about my one-on-one more, because I do a lot of it, but I don't share a lot of it because obviously not every woman wants her stuff talked about online. But every woman that comes to me, we go through a process that involves personal development and also involves female science, and it involves like, where are we starting? How are we bringing this body into alignment? There's no cookie cutter. I definitely have things that I do for everybody. But there is so much value in having somebody to coach and guide you, so you don't just have to figure it out, because you're going to fall off the bandwagon and all that stuff happens. And I did that for 10 years, and that's why I'm like, that's not necessary. Okay. One thing I do want to say about bringing your body into alignment is nourishing your body with herbs. Okay. So herbs and teas are medicine. Be careful what you're using. But there are herbs that are very nourishing for the liver, like dandelion, sometimes peppermint. But again, like, I personally don't think those teas even are to be used daily. And I don't think they're for everyone. There are like cortisol lowering supplements, and, just really be careful, because if you're not needing that, but somebody you heard or one of your friends is using one of those supplements. Like I said, I had a friend who was going through a death in the family, and she in the past was using a cortisol manager. But what happens is, when we're processing grief and things like that, is our cortisol levels actually drop below normal. And so she was actually taking the cortisol manager, which was lowering her cortisol levels even more, which was bringing her energy down, which was not helping her process her grief. So yeah, we do want to be sure. And most of the methods that I use, like, I'm not a naturopath. I don't tell people like to get random things unless I know for sure that this is really gentle and this is what's going to help you bring you back into alignment. But a lot of what I use is breath work and just natural foods, like going back to look at what your foods. Are you eating contaminated foods? How's the quality of your food? Like, don't tell me you're spending freaking 10 hours in the gym and then eating the lowest quality food just because it's there, or because your friends are going to a restaurant. Like, really start handpicking what's coming into your consciousness in all ways possible. Okay, if that is all for now, I hope. Oh yeah, I did have a question that somebody asked on my other account about early morning workouts, fasted workouts. Okay, this boils back to, again, keeping in touch with your energetic tank, that capacity, that vessel. How is it? And what is your purpose of doing this fasted workout? Is it because like it's actually a little bit more convenient? You might not want to eat a big meal before you go work out. I totally get that. In that case, you want to adjust your workout intensity. You don't really want to be going high intensity like that. These are the things that I am like not even afraid to say. Like, if you're a male watching this and you're like, oh, okay, well, I go hard, good for you. I mean, that's great. I honestly think even our males are burnt out. I think there's not enough emphasis put on their health and their connection with their body. And I see it when there is a lack of invigoration in the body. Like, we're just not breathing as much. We're missing for men, it's called their hara. For women, like, our womb space is dying. This is when I talk about life force energy, is because when we are disconnected from our womb, that's the energy that we function on. And when we have no idea about our cycle, or we're not paying attention to our intuition, we're not allowing our body to guide us, we're not in our creativity, we're not in our feminine, we are slowly disconnecting and building walls from our womb. And that's our life force energy. And then we start operating from our brain, and then we start getting the migraines and the pains and the headaches and the feelings of confusion and mental fog and inability to actually have a good conversation and share your heart and like be vulnerable and share your feelings and open your heart up to your sisters and not have sister wounds. Like, there's so many things. There's so much beauty in the womb work. That's why I love talking about it. It was unknown to me up until a couple of years ago, and I'm so glad I found it. Like, I'm never going to go through menopause. I'm going to be vital my whole life. And I'm praying, and I'm so thankful for everything that I have and all the knowledge and the fact that I get to serve every day doing something that I absolutely love and create from my womb and serve from there. It honestly, it just keeps that energy going. So I too have to be careful sometimes, because I'm like, oh, I got so much energy. And then I'm like, oh, no, I don't. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for popping on. I hope I answered all your questions. Just let me know if there's anything, like, just shoot me a message, DM me. You guys know I'm always around. So yeah, mwah. Thank you.